Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about D23, the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, the Andor series and more. So without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. Next week is potentially a very big one for Star Wars. Not only do we have Disney Plus Day but also D23 Expo, and the poster for D23 has been unveiled, and on it there are a few hints that do point towards possible announcements for the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, Ahsoka and Andor. Let's break it down. On the poster we have Slave 1, Din's Naboo starfighter, Luke's training remote, Grogu and an X-Wing. There are more Star Wars things, but let's focus on these because these have some fans wondering if we're getting a Book of Boba Fett Season 2 announcement. Honestly, I'm 50-50. I'm a bit torn on it because you could argue that they're just trying to fill out the poster with Disney characters and related IPs. For instance, you have Eve from WALL-E on there, and Pixar already confirmed there would be no sequel, and this is the case for many others on the poster, but who knows, fingers crossed. But that's not all. We also have clues towards Ahsoka and the Andor show, which have been rumoured to be getting exclusive looks next weekend too. The Boba situation in particular though is the most interesting. Some fans just want Boba to continue in The Mandalorian Season 3, but Temuera Morrison himself has said he does want a second season, and a week or so ago on Star Wars Leaks, a new rumour emerged stating that The Mandalorian Season 4, which Production Weekly said is filming in a couple of months, is actually the Book of Boba Fett Season 2, and if this claim is true and the poster is anything to go by, there is a small chance we could have this announced next week. They also mentioned that concept art already exists as well, and what's apparent from those frames is that this time in this season, Boba and Fennec are going off-world. They also mention a very grim planet that sounds a great deal like Nar Shaddaa, and if true, this could give the twins, introduced in Season 1, a larger role in the upcoming second season. But please take all of this with a gigantic cube of salt. It's just conjecture and speculation, and there is just as good a chance that we get nothing Boba related at D23, and hopefully, even if we don't get a Boba update, the D23 Expo holds some exciting news for Star Wars fans, unlike last year's Disney Plus Day, which was a massive L for all of us. Now, something that a few people pointed out on this poster is the absence of the Bad Batch. They're not anywhere to be found on it, no reference to them, no mention, and I'm really worried they're not going to bring it up at all. They should do though. We've had no updates since Star Wars Celebration. CBR covered this and they said the following: Disney dropped an official poster for its D23 event, spotlighting many beloved films, characters and franchises. The image features a classic rendition of Mickey Mouse standing in front of the iconic Disney castle, which is populated and surrounded by a bevy of references to the company's sprawling catalogue. Eagle-eyed fans were able to make out some Star Wars ships. As for Marvel, the poster features Captain America's shield in the top left, Spider-Man dangling, and a Nova Corps starship amongst several other nods. But as I alluded to earlier, these references do not equate to confirmed announcements. We're just speculating, but the event starts right after Disney Plus Day on September the 9th and runs through to the 11th. Now, while I do say it's speculation, they have promised, quote, first looks at several Star Wars productions, so we should get something. Now, we spoke about the Book of Boba Fett, but one other highly anticipated series that many enthusiasts believe is going to take center stage at D23 is The Mandalorian's third season. It is set for a February 2023 release window, and we might get the public version of the exclusive footage shown at Celebration. Or maybe a new clip, a poster or something like that. That would be amazing. As for the MCU, Marvel Studios has several projects in development that could possibly make an appearance. These include the Secret Invasion Disney Plus series, the blockbuster sequel Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, or even the mysterious Halloween special that is widely believed to be an adaptation of Werewolf by Night. Really exciting stuff, my dear friends. As always, I will cover everything as it comes out, so make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell to never miss a video. And so now, my dear Mandalorians, we once again find ourselves talking about the Andor series, because with less than 3 weeks to go, Star Wars have published their latest poster. It looks elegant, cinematic, smoky, gritty, and reminiscent of a show that's about a rebellion fighting back against the oppression of the Empire. It looks perfect. I love the characters laid out, and how it's so poetic with the Rogue One posters. Some highlights as we go down, of course, we have Andor, we have a gorgeous shot of Mon Mothma's profile, we have Carl Solar's Cyril Khan, Adria Arjona's Bix Kalin, a hooded Stellan Skarsgård who plays Luthen Rael, and if you look on the left, next to Denise Goff's character, we have a new look at Saw Gerrera. He looks very different to all of his other depictions. I can't wait for yet another kick-ass Forrest Whitaker performance. All of these characters look awesome, and while they're all kind of the same shade of blue and grey, and the lighting just makes everything gritty, that is very much deliberate, and the red of the Andor logo in many ways symbolises blood and the sacrifice of the rebels and what they're willing to give up in the name of defeating the oppression. If you've not checked it out already, after this one, please be sure to watch yesterday's video, where I go through a very dark scene from episode 1 that connects to the Clone Wars and a rather bleak perception of the Republic. Now, also on this poster, we can't forget some of the other new characters. We have Dedra Meero, who is Denise Goff's character. We have Clea, played by Elizabeth Delau, Verado Sethu's character, and Faye Marcy, who plays Vel Sartha, and not to mention B2EMO, Andor's trusty droid. So an awesome looking poster. Of course, we have the new logo as well, and this has sparked some debate in the fandom. And the big question is, in retrospect, is Andor a good title for a Star Wars series? Given everything we've heard about the show from Diego Luna, who even admitted it's not just about Andor, does this show naming based on the titular character work as a catchy title? Or as some fans have suggested, should they have named this show The Rebellion Begins, which is by the way the show's slogan, or maybe something like The Dark Times? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that Andor is a good name for this show based on the titular character? Or do you think they should have gone with something different that could potentially have gotten the fandom more excited? Share your thoughts in the comments, guys. And so finally, my dear friends, we've been talking a lot about the sequel trilogy. We had Rian Johnson talking about The Last Jedi 5 years on. He also thinks his trilogy is still happening. We had John Boyega comments on returning to Star Wars, and then most recently, comments about what he thought of Luke Skywalker and working with Colin Trevorrow until J.J. Abrams took over. But now, guys, another sequels actor has come out and says he wants to return to Star Wars, and unlike John Boyega, he really wants it to happen. This comes from a new interview with Collider. Domhnall Gleeson, who played General Hux in the sequels and who ended up being a rebel spy, a resistance spy, wants Lucasfilm to make it happen again for him. They say the following: Domhnall Gleeson is ready to put on the First Order uniform once again and come back as General Armitage Hux in the Star Wars universe. Speaking with the Wrap about his experience in a galaxy far, far away, Gleeson also said that unfortunately, he thinks it's unlikely that Lucasfilm will ever reach out to him again, and evidently he's basing this on the fact that in episode 9, his character dies. When he was asked directly if he wants to come back, he says, quote, "Of course I would. Hux was really interesting, and I think there's a lot I could do with him, but he says, I don't see them making the call. I'm not sure anybody's clamoring for a Hux sequel or prequel. But yeah, of course, those movies are amazing. Well, to be honest with him, there are definitely fans out there who loved the character of Hux. Personally, I liked him in episode 7. The Last Jedi turned him into a silly comedic character, and episode 9 pulled out one of the weirdest surprises of the entire trilogy. I'm just talking about the character, by the way. As an actor who portrayed the character, I think Gleeson was awesome, and if it's in the stars for him to return, unless it's earlier in the timeline before The Force Awakens, I don't see how it's going to happen. But it's good to see an actor pleased with their performance and willing to return to the galaxy far, far away. Gleeson can currently be seen in Hulu's The Patient. And with that said, my dear friends, that's pretty much all we have for today's video. If you enjoyed it, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.